Did you know that before you finish the first minute of this video, around 20 more people somewhere in the world will have suffered a stroke? What's even more heartbreaking is that many of those strokes may not have come without warning. Days earlier, the body had already been sending quiet signals. A hand that didn't feel quite as steady. A brief moment of confusion that disappeared almost as quickly as it came. A movement that suddenly felt just a little less natural. Because these changes seem so small, they're often dismissed as just part of getting older. But what if they're not? And what if some of the very first things you do after opening your eyes each morning are quietly making your brain and blood vessels work much harder than they should? Habits that feel completely harmless today could gradually become hidden risk factors over time. That's exactly what we'll explore today. After caring for older adults for decades, I have reached a simple but powerful conclusion. Many strokes are not simply a matter of fate. In many cases, the warning signs appear early, and the opportunity to reduce the risk begins with the choices we make during the first hour of the day. In this episode, you'll discover the subtle symptoms that many seniors unknowingly ignore, along with 5 common morning habits that deserve far more attention after the age of 60. And I encourage you to stay with us until the very end, because the final 2 habits are the ones that surprise even people who believe they're already living a healthy lifestyle. A stroke rarely appears out of nowhere. More often, it begins quietly. Long before an ambulance is called or an emergency room visit becomes necessary, the brain may already be struggling to tell you that something isn't right. Have you ever reached into your pocket for your keys and accidentally dropped them? Even though you weren't in a hurry, have you picked up your toothbrush only to feel that your hand seemed just a little less steady than usual? Perhaps you needed several attempts to fasten a shirt button that had never given you trouble before. Or maybe you paused while writing a grocery list because, for a brief moment, a simple word you've written thousands of times suddenly refused to come to mind. Most people would laugh these moments off. "I'm just getting older," they might say. And sometimes, that's exactly what they are. But occasionally, they can be something far more important. They may be the earliest signs of a transient ischemic attack, often called a TIA or a mini-stroke. Unlike a major stroke, a TIA usually lasts only a short time. The symptoms may disappear within minutes, leaving you feeling completely normal again. That's precisely why so many people ignore it. They assume that because the problem went away, the danger has passed. In reality, the opposite may be true. A TIA is often the brain's final warning before a much more serious event. I remember meeting a gentleman named Richard, a retired school principal who had always been proud of his sharp mind and steady hands. At 74, he was still living independently, taking morning walks, and doing crossword puzzles every day. Nothing about him suggested that a stroke was around the corner. Yet over the course of 1 week, his daughter noticed a few unusual moments. He dropped his reading glasses twice while picking them up from the table. One morning, he signed a birthday card for his granddaughter and accidentally left out several letters in her name. He laughed about it, blaming poor sleep and old age. His daughter wasn't convinced and persuaded him to visit his doctor. The examination revealed that Richard had experienced a TIA only days earlier. Because he sought medical attention quickly, doctors were able to adjust his medications, investigate the cause, and begin treatment immediately. More importantly, they did so within the critical 48-hour window, the period researchers have identified as carrying the highest risk for a major stroke after a TIA. Studies have shown that when people receive prompt evaluation and treatment during this window, the risk of suffering a serious stroke can drop by more than 80%. If these warning signs are so subtle, why do they seem to appear so often in the morning? The answer lies in what happens inside the body while we sleep. During the night, you go for hours without drinking water, so your body wakes up slightly dehydrated. Your blood becomes a little more concentrated, making it harder to flow smoothly through aging blood vessels. At the same time, your body releases a surge of cortisol to help you wake up, and your blood pressure naturally begins to climb. None of these changes are abnormal on their own. They're part of a healthy morning rhythm. But when they occur together in someone who already has narrowed arteries or other cardiovascular risk factors, they can create the perfect conditions for a blood clot to form or travel to the brain. That's why the first hour after waking deserves far more attention than most people realize. And if your body is already facing its greatest circulatory challenge of the day, a few seemingly harmless morning habits may quietly push that risk even higher. Habit number 1. Start your day without drinking water. For many people, the morning begins with coffee, tea, checking messages, or taking medications. Water doesn't even cross their mind because they don't feel thirsty. Unfortunately, thirst isn't always a reliable signal as we grow older. By the time you notice it, your body may already be mildly dehydrated. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your body has naturally lost water through breathing and normal body functions. Since nothing replaces those fluids overnight, you wake up with less water circulating in your bloodstream than you had the evening before. When that happens, your blood becomes slightly more concentrated. It doesn't suddenly turn thick, but it flows a little less efficiently. As a result, your heart has to work harder to push blood through arteries that may already have become narrower and less flexible with age. Most healthy people won't notice this extra effort. But for someone living with high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, or early artery disease, even a small increase in strain can matter. Combined with the natural rise in blood pressure that occurs after waking, it creates conditions that make circulation less efficient during the first hour of the day. Doctors have paid close attention to this pattern. Some research has suggested that inadequate morning hydration is associated with a significant proportion of first-time ischemic strokes, with one frequently cited estimate linking it to nearly 48% of cases. While dehydration is rarely the only cause, it can become one of several risk factors working together quietly in the background. The encouraging news is that this is also one of the easiest habits to improve. Before reaching for your coffee, before turning on the television, and before taking your morning medications, unless your doctor has advised otherwise, drink 1 full glass of room temperature or warm water. You don't need a special detox drink or an expensive supplement. Plain water is enough. Think of it as giving your brain and your circulatory system the gentle wake-up they need before asking them to carry you through the day. It seems like such a small step that many people underestimate its value. Yet healthy aging is often shaped by small decisions repeated every morning, not dramatic changes made once in a while. And the next habit is just as common. In fact, there's a good chance many people watching this video are doing it right now without realizing it. Habit 2. Sitting in bed too long after waking up. In fact, it often feels relaxing. After opening their eyes, many older adults remain sitting on the edge of the bed while checking their phones, watching television, or simply waiting for the day to begin. The problem is that your circulatory system is also waking up. After spending 7 or 8 hours lying down, your body depends on gentle movement to help blood flow normally again. If you stay completely still for another 20 or 30 minutes, blood tends to pool in the lower legs, slowing its return to the heart. With less blood returning efficiently, the brain may briefly receive a reduced blood supply when you finally stand. That's why some older adults experience dizziness, blurred vision, or feel unsteady during those first few steps. It isn't always dangerous by itself, but it tells us the body is struggling to adapt too quickly. Picture a typical morning. You wake up and immediately start scrolling through your phone. 20 minutes pass without you noticing. Suddenly, the doorbell rings or the phone rings. You stand up quickly and rush toward the door. For a few seconds, everything feels slightly off balance. The room may seem to spin, or you instinctively reach for the wall to steady yourself. Many people assume this is simply part of aging, but in reality, it often reflects a sudden change in blood circulation rather than age alone. Fortunately, preventing this is remarkably simple. Before standing, rotate your ankles several times. Move your feet up and down, Roll your shoulders gently and take 2 or 3 slow, deep breaths. Then stand up gradually instead of all at once, giving your circulation a few moments to adjust. These small movements require less than a minute, yet they help blood return to the heart more efficiently and allow your brain to receive a steadier supply of oxygen during the most vulnerable part of the morning. Habit 3. Skipping breakfast. Many people say, "I'm just not hungry in the morning," so they pour a cup of coffee, take their medications, and promise themselves they'll eat later. Unfortunately, after the age of 60, that routine may not be as harmless as it seems. Your brain is one of the most energy-demanding organs in your body. Even while you're sitting quietly reading the newspaper or enjoying a peaceful morning, it requires a steady supply of glucose to keep nerve cells working properly. Unlike muscles, the brain stores very little energy for later use. It depends on a continuous supply from your bloodstream. As we grow older, the body's ability to regulate blood sugar becomes less flexible. That means older adults are generally more vulnerable to drops in blood glucose, particularly after an entire night without food. If breakfast is skipped, the brain may have to function longer without the fuel it needs. The situation becomes even more important for people who take medications for diabetes or high blood pressure. Swallowing those medicines on an empty stomach, followed by nothing more than a cup of coffee, may increase the likelihood of feeling weak, shaky, lightheaded, or mentally foggy. While these symptoms don't automatically mean something serious is happening, they can reduce balance, concentration, and overall circulation during the most vulnerable part of the day. Coffee alone is not a breakfast. It may help you feel more awake, but it cannot replace the nutrients your brain and body have been waiting for since the night before. Feeling alert and being properly nourished are not always the same thing. The good news is that breakfast doesn't have to be large. In fact, many older adults do better with a light, balanced meal than with a heavy one. A boiled egg provides high-quality protein that helps keep energy levels steady. A small bowl of plain yogurt supports both protein intake and digestive health. A handful of walnuts adds healthy fats that are known to support brain function and cardiovascular health. Even combining 2 of these foods can be enough to give your body a much stronger start than skipping breakfast altogether. Think of breakfast as a signal to your body that a new day has begun. You're not simply filling your stomach. You're giving your brain the fuel it needs, helping stabilize blood sugar, and preparing your circulation for the hours ahead. Habit 4. Starting your day with stress. Many people believe the morning is the best time to catch up on everything they missed overnight. Before they've even stepped out of bed, they're reading the latest headlines, checking emails, scrolling through social media, or worrying about appointments and responsibilities waiting later in the day. When you first wake up, your body is already going through a natural transition. Cortisol, often called the body's wake-up hormone, rises sharply to help you become alert. At the same time, your blood pressure begins its normal morning increase as your heart prepares for the activities ahead. These changes are completely normal. In fact, they're part of a healthy biological rhythm. The problem begins when we immediately add emotional stress on top of those natural changes. Reading upsetting news, responding to stressful emails, arguing with a family member, or worrying about finances before breakfast can push the body's stress response even further. Instead of allowing your circulation to wake up gradually, your nervous system shifts into high alert. Your heart beats faster, blood vessels tighten, and blood pressure may climb even higher. For someone with healthy arteries, the body often adapts without difficulty. But for older adults living with hypertension, diabetes, or cardiovascular disease, repeated morning stress may place unnecessary strain on blood vessels that are already more vulnerable. Researchers have noticed this pattern as well. Several long-term studies have found that people who regularly experience high psychological stress, particularly during the first hours of the day, have a greater risk of stroke later in life. That relationship appears to be even stronger among adults over the age of 60, whose cardiovascular systems are generally less resilient to to sudden stress responses. The encouraging part is that changing this habit doesn't require eliminating stress from your life. That's impossible for anyone. Instead, it's about delaying it for just a few minutes. Before reaching for your phone or turning on the television, give yourself 10 quiet minutes. Sit by a window with a warm cup of tea. Take a slow walk through your garden or around your home. Practice a few gentle stretches. Spend a few moments in prayer, meditation, or simply breathing deeply while the house is still quiet. Those 10 minutes may seem insignificant, but they give your heart, your blood vessels, and your brain time to settle into the day before facing everything the outside world demands of you. Many people spend years searching for complicated ways to improve their health, when sometimes the greatest gift they can give themselves is a calmer beginning to each morning. And now we've arrived at the final habit. Ironically, it's the one most people never consider a risk at all. Yet according to many experts, it may quietly undo the benefits of every healthy habit we've discussed so far. Habit 5. Not moving after you wake up. When people think about stroke prevention, they usually worry about doing too much. They avoid heavy lifting, strenuous exercise, or overexertion because they're afraid it might put too much stress on the heart. But after caring for older adults for many years, I've found that the greater danger is often the exact opposite. It isn't moving too much. It's not moving at all. Many retirees have a peaceful morning routine. They wake up, prepare a cup of coffee, sit in their favorite chair, read the newspaper, watch television, or chat with family. An hour can pass before they take more than a few dozen steps. After a full night of sleep, your muscles have been inactive for many hours. The muscles in your legs normally act like small pumps, helping push blood back toward the heart every time you walk. When you remain seated for a long period after waking, those muscle pumps stay quiet. As a result, blood moves more slowly through the veins of the legs. Circulation becomes less efficient, and blood is more likely to pool in the lower body. Slower blood flow doesn't automatically create a clot, but it provides conditions in which clots are more likely to develop, especially in older adults who already have cardiovascular risk factors. This is one reason doctors encourage hospital patients to begin moving as soon as it is medically safe after surgery. Remaining still for long periods increases the risk of dangerous blood clots. The same principle applies outside the hospital. You may be sitting in your favorite armchair instead of a hospital bed, but your circulation still benefits from early movement. Large population studies have shown that older adults who spend long hours sitting each day have approximately twice the risk of stroke compared with those who stay regularly active. One important finding surprised many researchers. Even people who exercised later in the day were still at greater risk if they spent most of the remaining hours sitting. In other words, one workout cannot completely erase an entire day of inactivity. The timing of movement matters. That's why the first few minutes after waking are so valuable. They help tell your heart, your muscles, and your blood vessels that the day has begun. The good news is that you don't need a gym membership or an intense workout. 5 to 10 minutes is often enough. Walk slowly around your home before sitting down for breakfast. Stretch your arms toward the ceiling and gently loosen your shoulders. March in place while waiting for the kettle to boil. Open the curtains, take a few deep breaths, and let your legs do what they were designed to do, move. These simple movements activate the large muscles of the legs, improve circulation, and help blood return more efficiently to the heart and brain. They also prepare your joints, improve balance, and make the rest of the morning feel easier. Many people believe healthy aging depends on one big decision. In reality, it is usually built on dozens of small choices repeated every day. A glass of water, a nourishing breakfast, a peaceful mind, and finally, a body that begins each morning with movement instead of stillness. Those 5 or 10 minutes may seem insignificant today, but repeated every morning over months and years, they can become one of the simplest investments you ever make in protecting your brain, preserving your independence, and enjoying many more healthy mornings to come. If today's video has encouraged you to look at your mornings a little differently, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell us, which of these 5 habits are you going to change first? Your experience may inspire someone else to take that first step as well. And if you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing and sharing it with a friend, a parent, or someone you care about. Finally, many of you have asked how you can support our work. If these videos have brought value to your life, and you'd like to help us continue creating thoughtful, research-based content for older adults around the world, you can do so through Super Thanks right here on YouTube. There is absolutely no obligation. Simply watching, commenting, and sharing already means more than you know. But if you choose to support us through Super Thanks, please know that your kindness helps us devote more time to creating videos that may improve and even help protect the lives of others. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. Stay healthy, take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.